This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Brian Johnson, how I believe he is the scapegoat for Nick Sirianni. Also, I will be talking about Vic Fangio and why the Cowboys fear him so much. And I think that's the reason why the Eagles signed him or even one of his disciples. And lastly, Nick Sirianni got to prove himself to the city again. But let's get straight into it. All right, so let's get straight into it, man. Let's talk about Vic Fangio. The Cowboys fear Vic Fangio. And I kept trying to figure out why, because I don't really get into Cowboys business unless they playing us. But I did some research because now Vic Fangio will be the Eagles defensive coordinator. Like, why the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, and this blueprint thing is so big? Did my research. And what happened back in 2021? Remember 2021? Everything was just so good for the Cowboys. I mean, the division was weak. I think that was Jalen Hurts' rookie year. Micah Parsons, or Jalen Hurts' second year. Micah Parsons playing out of his mind. They compare him to Lawrence Taylor. Dak Prescott, I believe, almost threw for 5,000 yards. You got Amari Cooper. All these dudes are balling. And they ran into the Broncos. Broncos was like a 5-3 or 5-4 team, or 4-4 at the time. People was like, it's no way they're going to beat this hot Cowboys team. And they not only beat them, they destroyed them. And Vic Fangio put out a tweet, well, not a tweet, but like said something in a press conference in a matter of, oh, I got the blueprint against Dak Prescott. Like, I know how to beat him. And it feel like, I'm not sure the record, Dak Prescott versus Vic Fangio, but it feels like every time they played each other, or he played the Vic Fangio defense, Vic Fangio got the best of them. Hell, if you want to count last year, they even asked Dak Prescott, his media asked him about Vic Fangio, about this blueprint thing, and this is what Dak Prescott had to say.
There's not that blueprint that Fangio referenced a couple of years ago so that other teams aren't.
Yeah, don't start backed up as much as we did. I think that helps for one, and then two, CD's ready to is just moving him around, giving him one look, and then maybe motion him away from that side and see if they can communicate on the fly as well as we can motion.
Look, Dak Prescott say that, and then they go to Miami and lose. It looked like Vic Fangio has the blueprint on beating Dak Prescott. Now, am I a fan of this bend don't break? No. Because in my last video, I ran it. Sometimes I hate ranting without facts. And I will say this about Vic Fangio. I went back, watched some Miami games. It felt like Jonathan Gannon deja vu. What do I mean by that? Miami, they'll blow out the Jets 30-0. They will. They will beat up the easy quarterbacks. The Matt Joneses can't get over 17 points. Any easy quarterback you could think of. Even at the time, Russell Wilson was struggling. Remember, the Miami Dolphins put up 70 points, and what, the Broncos only put up 20 points. But then you'll see them play like the Buffalo Bills. And mind you, the first time they played Buffalo Bills, it was the beginning of the season. They lose 48-20. And then towards closer to the end of the season, this is no excuse to me, they played the Baltimore Ravens. Remember, everybody thought that was just going to be one hell of a game. And then Baltimore dropped like 56 points on them. It's like, bro, I don't like the scheme. So you'll see that they play a competent offense, they get blown out, but then they play those bottom 15 type quarterbacks and blow them out because the defense was on one. It's the same thing. He don't let his best cornerback shadow the best wide receiver. Don't like it. It's this screenshot that keep going around in the Dolphins community of when they played the Buffalo Bills. It was like 15 seconds left, and he had everybody in the end zone and gave Josh Allen all the time in the world just to move the ball and move the ball and move the ball. It's like, bruh, I can't take the prevent defense. I can't do it. But the positive thing about Vic Fangio, he always, for some reason, finished top 10. for most of the time he been a defensive coordinator or a head coach in the league, his defense usually in the top 10, rarely in the top 15 or top 16. It's either in that top 5 or top 10. Other than that, Vic Fangio ranking is always going to be up there. And I think that's what the Eagles like. The Eagles like, one, he could beat a rival. Two, he's a hometown guy. He's a Philly guy. And three, his defense, according to the numbers, always in that top 10. Just got to be real. Now, what my eyes tell me is that the scheme sucks. That's what my eyes tell me when I watch the TV screen of whatever defense and his disciples are coaching. That's what my eyes. But the numbers tell me, no, it doesn't suck because of this, that, this, that. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I hope I am wrong about Vic Fangio because what I was seeing, man on first down, prevent defense on second down. You try to bring a blitz here and there on third down, and that's it. But I will say this. This is another positive. If Vic Fangio sticks around or whatever, Howie Roseman got to get linebackers for this to work. He got to get safeties for this to work. So we'll see if he invests in those because Howie haven't been investing in safeties or linebackers. But for Vic Fangio's scheme to be at its highest level, he has to have those two because the linebackers got to be able to cover and also hit because of a lot of the open space and playing prevent defense. So hopefully he's able to do it. And then the safety's got to be at an all-time level because you like to play too high safety. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's talk about Brian Johnson, man. Brian Johnson, I'm really starting to believe he was the scapegoat for Nick Sirianni. While many people are clowning the Nick Sirianni, saying he's just the head coach, and it's like, man, he ruined Brian Johnson really only opportunity or one of his opportunities of being the head coach because Nick Sirianni has so much influence over Brian Johnson. But for the people that didn't see him just say he's just the head coach, let me go ahead and play this clip.
To the defense, what is your role going to be?
The head coach of the football
What
team.
does that entail? How does it change?
Yeah, I guess what it'd be this very similar to what's going on right now. Does that mean I'll sit more into defensive meetings at times? Maybe, right? Instead of always being in an offensive meeting, maybe I go to a defensive meeting here and there. But my job is to be the head coach of the team, not the head coach of the offense, not the head coach of the defense, not the head coach of the special teams, but be the head coach of the football team. And so that's building the culture. That's making sure the culture's, working, with our 5 core values, are taking every day at a time. Like, we're not coming up with new core values. We may shuffle of where the.
As you see, he said, I'm just the head coach. I'll be looking over everything now because if I felt like he was head coach / OC last year, but now he's saying he will need these fresh new ideas, this and that, how great Brian Johnson was. But man, you made Brian Johnson look bad. You made Brian Johnson look terribly bad, and I'm really starting to feel bad for Brian Johnson because Nick Sirianni, this is on you. Your whole coaching staff lost their job because of you. Even Sean Desai. Hell, no telling where his defense would have shaped up towards the end of the season. I don't know, but he had some good games. He had some bad games. I've seen him adjust a couple times. And you just didn't give him a chance. Because even Howie Roseman even said it wasn't him that made that change. But let me play what Howie Roseman had to say about the Matt Patricia, Sean Desai change.
Sean Desai's demotion.
Coach comes to me and tells me kind of what he's thinking. No different than when he decided to give Shane the play calling duty, and he said, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do." I trust him with the coaching staff. That's his responsibility, just like he trusts me with my front office staff, and that's how we're structured here. That's how the relationship works. And I always want to be a supporter for him and a resource. So if he needs me to do something, if he asks me a question, if he asks me an opinion, in a situation like this. He had made up his mind. He had made a decision, and I'm going to support him.
As you see, that was all Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni, you have a lot to prove to the city. And I know that you said that. Actually, let me go ahead and play that clip of him saying that he has a lot to prove.
Obviously, we have those meetings after every year, and we talk about the progression of the team, where we're going, what we did well, things we didn't do well, and that was kind of business as usual right there. It was a little obviously at the end of the game, right, on Monday night. You get back late on Tuesday. How he explained all that. We're having player meetings, right? It takes me about 2 to 3 days to get through every player. Then you're trying to get through every coach. Then you're having the meetings there, and so it's a long process to get to where we are right now, where we have, we're able to answer your questions a little bit more, and so I mean, I guess that's with how he said what he said with the why we're meeting right now. But going into the meeting, did you say what you asked again?
Yeah, with Jeffrey, did you have to sell yourself or sell your vision for how to fix this?
Yeah, again, it was the same. It was business as usual of how we go about an end of year meeting. Obviously, what my thought is there, and so it was just normal, Zach. It wasn't anything different than it's been the last 3 years. Now, in my mind, you better believe I'm thinking, how do I reprove myself, right? I was a young coach that Mr. Lurie and Howie and this organization trusted to give the job to. I had to prove myself that this guy can lead the organization like they asked me to, and I had to prove myself from then. And I think that you asked me that question, like, did I have to sell my vision? No, because again, it was business as usual. But you better believe that I'm thinking after that 1-6 finish, after starting the way we started and doing the things that we've done in the past, that I'm thinking I'm going to prove them right again. And we're going to prove them right. We got to reprove ourselves. We got to go prove it again. And so that's how I feel right now. That's how I'm attacking this off season. That's how I'm attacking this upcoming season as we get ready for it. Just hungry to be able to prove myself again to Mr. Lurie and the faith he's had in me, and Howie and the faith he's had in me, and the rest of the team and the city.
As you see, you got a lot to prove. Look, a lot of people don't believe in Nick Sirianni. I have no choice right now because he's the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Like he said, he will be overseeing everything. You got to prove yourself again. Trust me, Philadelphia is a fickle city. Right now, I'm saying I really don't like Vic Fangio. Our defense come out as a top 5, top 3 defense. All that tune will change. If Nick Sirianni and that offense, whoever is going to be the offensive coordinator, come out and play, and I see Nick Sirianni doing this thing, my tune will change. But right now, I'm upset because I think a man lost his job due to the head coach. Well, 2 men lost their jobs because of a head coach. Jalen Hurts regressed because of the head coach. A lot of dominoes fell because of the head coach. But now, Loriano's like, nah, we taking back control, a little bit more control. We tried to give it to you, but you screwed up. Now we're going to get control. We're going to pick who's the guy for you, and you're just going to oversee everything. It is what it is, man. Nick Sirianni screwed up. You paying that price. Maybe he get that control back or something. I don't know. But go get an experienced offensive coordinator, because it looked like you got an experienced defensive coordinator. And let's see what Nick Sirianni do. Let's see what he do. But hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? Vic Fangio having a blueprint against Dak Prescott. Also, Nick Sirianni. Just Nick Sirianni in general. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.